What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. So, yeah, man, I thought this whole situation was done. These Hollywood strikes, I said they were done. I said, oh, yeah, it's a wrap, man. They're going to be back to work in no time, you know. Hollywood, the writers, they got their deal, all right? WGA signed their name on the dotted line. Votes approved. Everything's good, all right? They back to work at their laptops and computers in the cafes writing as we speak, all right? That's what I was like, okay, yeah, the actors, they're going to be far behind, all right? They ain't going to be that far behind because, look, they need the actors, obviously, way more than the writers. You know, and if they were feeling any kind of a pinch, they would have been like, hey, man, look, okay, we got this thing done. Let's get these actors back to work. All right. So, you know, in the last couple of weeks, that's how these negotiations were sounding. If you checking the trades, I was checking the trades every day. Variety, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, The Wrap. I was checking them all every single day. And it was always the same story. Yeah, we met on Monday and everything was great. All right. We had great talks. We're going to meet again on Wednesday. And then they met on Wednesday. Oh, yeah, everything was cool, man. Progress was being made. But yeah, we'll meet again on Friday. And so on for the last couple of weeks. I said, okay, yeah, this thing is going to get wrapped up pretty soon, you know. But in the words of Lenny Kravitz, all right, so many tears I cried, all the pain inside, it ain't over until it's over. And back we go again. Man, this is absolutely crazy. So the studios have declared the SAG-AFTRA talks suspended. Slammed the guild for rejecting terms offered to the writers and the directors. Yeah, basically, they say, yeah, we're going to give you the same thing that we gave to the writers and the directors. You know, we'll make some adjustments here and there, but for the most part, you're going to get a similar type of a deal. The writers accepted it. They were overjoyed. Yeah, I guess the actors, okay, the Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA, they like, nah, they ain't good enough for us. And this is the thing, because they're the bigger union, okay? They got the most members. So when it comes to SAG-AFTRA, they probably feel like they got a little bit more weight that they can pull with the studios. And so they're asking for even more. And yeah, we got more than just this headline. Check this out. Yeah, you got SAG-AFTRA accuses the studio of bully tactics and misrepresentation over revenue sharing proposal costs as negotiations crater. All right, so 2 articles, right, about the strike in like successive days. But look, we still not done. Then we got this article. Netflix Ted Sarandos reveals why the talks broke down with SAG-AFTRA. And then we got the lead negotiator, Duncan Crabtree Ireland, on the latest delay with negotiations. I don't understand why they think that's a way to move the process forward. Let's go ahead and hear what Duncan got to say.
What insight can you share into what went on in the negotiating room when the talks broke down yesterday?
Well, you know, the talks didn't really break down in the negotiating room. Really, in the negotiating room yesterday was a session just like the others that we've had. It wasn't until later in the evening I started getting calls from the CEOs and Carol Lombardini is the head of the chief negotiator for their group to let me know that they decided to cancel our scheduled session for today and that they weren't planning to return to the table. So, you know, to this moment, I do not understand why they think that's a way to move this process forward, why they think that that's going to help bring the industry back to work.
Now, let me say this right off the bat, because I've always held, okay, and you know that, I've been talking about it with the writer's strike, that there is a huge, wide disconnect between what the actors and the writers think that the studios want and what the studios actually want. The studios are just playing possum. They're pushing pause on Hollywood while they reassess everything. So all of these things, they're not bully tactics. They're just delay tactics. They're like, nah, we can't deal with this. Nah, you guys are asking for too much. All right. They did the same things with the writers. And they pulled the plug on the negotiations and they let them cats sit for weeks and weeks and weeks. And the reality is they're just delaying the inevitable. They don't want to get back to work until they kind of clean the slate, get some of this, you know, dead weight off the books, get some of these bad projects out of the mix. You know, you can't go back to work without the actors. Remember, we already discussed this, that there are serious delays. They're not extending deals. All right. I did that video. I'll link it above. They're not extending deals past their, you know, expiration dates. So what do you think this next move is going to do? This is going to push it back another month. And all of these cats that needed these actors back to keep going with their deals, those deals aren't being extended. All right. And that's what the studios want. Because remember, again, this isn't about money. The writer said the same thing. Oh, we're just talking about pennies on the dollar. We're talking about 0.02% of the studio's total overall revenue. Do you think if it was only 0.2% of the overall revenue that these guys would be fussing like that? These studios would be causing all of this stink? All right. And it's the same thing with the actors. We're going to get to their deal, the stuff that they're asking for. And it's like, oh man, it's only a little bit of money. It's only 57 cents or whatever. If it was really about like this tiny portion of money, why would they be balking at that? Again, and then they're just going to go ahead and do it down the line anyway, or they'll find some middle ground. Like, why would they pull the plugs on the negotiations? See, this is what these cats, in my opinion, okay, I could be wrong, but this is what these cats don't seem to be thinking about.
It's very, very disappointing and frankly frustrating.
Yeah, there was a lot of talks now that the writers are back and the conversation of trying to save the remainder of the network schedule, that hopefully actors would be back by the end of October. Is that something that's impossible at this point?
You know, it's not impossible. It's possible, but it's not going to happen if they walk away from negotiations. So long as they refuse to talk to us, that is impossible. So long as they are at the table talking with us, helping us all find a path forward, then that's possible. So let's get back to the table and let's put this sort of, I don't even know how to describe it, this sort of response aside, and let's get back in the room and let's have them respond to the proposals we made to them yesterday. We gave them an entire comprehensive counter proposal yesterday that they have walked away from negotiations and refused to respond to. That's just not right.
Yeah, see, this cat don't understand the game that the studios are playing. The studios are playing this game because they're just delaying the inevitable. They already know what they're going to agree with, okay? They probably looked at their proposal and said, yeah, that's not too bad. All right, let's go ahead and do that. No, whoa. We need about another month and a half, all right? And let some more of this, dead weight just get out of here, okay? We are trying to get to the point where we could just simply push off series or cancel them outright. Same with some movies, some deals that we made that we want to get out of, all right? That's what the studios are all about right now. It's amazing that these guys don't see that. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump to that first article that we touched upon. Let's see what the studios were slamming the guild all about. What are the terms that they rejected? After less than 2 weeks, the latest negotiations between SAG-AFTRA and the studios and streamers have broken down and been suspended, according to the AMPTP on Wednesday. After meaningful conversations, it's clear that the gap between the AMPTP and SAG-AFTRA is too great, and conversations are no longer moving us in a productive direction, the Carol Lombardini-led group said in a statement late tonight after what was described by Deadline by one source as much rockier than usual talks. As Deadline reported today, and over the past week of deliberations between the parties, the main stumbling block to a deal seems to be SAG-AFTRA's desire for revenue sharing from successful streaming shows, terming the profit split demand, which is estimated to make up around 2% of potential profits, an untenable economic burden. It's like, again, it's a small penny. It's pennies, all right, pennies. The studio CEO-led negotiating team has valued the proposal costing them more than $2.4 billion over the course of a new 3-year contract, or more than $800 million a year. Yeah, that's a lot of money, though. I mean, no lie, man. That's a grip of money to be given out every single year. Yeah, and they're saying basically this whole thing was a non-starter from the get-go. They weren't ever going to budge on that, all right? But then they found the one, pain point that they weren't going to move on, but they'll probably move on it when they get round to it, okay? Again, they're using the exact same tactics. It's no different than what they did with the writers. It's funny as hell, man. Today's strike marks the 91st day. So now we're on day 92, the day of this recording, and we're going to be on day 93 tomorrow. We hope that SAG-AFTRA will reconsider and return to productive negotiations soon, the AMPTP added tonight. As it has in previous negotiation cratering instances with the WGA earlier, the AMPTP tonight listed off areas such as wages, AI protections, a percentage increase in minimum areas, and more, where it considered itself to have offered the actors hefty increases on common issues such as general wage increases, high budget SVOD residuals, and viewership bonuses. The AMPTP offered the same terms that were ratified by the DGA and WGA, yet SAG-AFTRA rejected these, the AMPTP says. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what they had. All right, so here's the full statement, and here's what was offered, all right? So they go through all of this gobbledygook. Yeah, we talked and blah, 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 blah. So during that time period, the AMPTP extended offers, including a first of its kind success-based residual for high budget SVOD productions. It's the same thing they gave to the writers. Exact same thing they gave to the writers. The highest percentage increase in minimums in 35 years, which would generate an additional 717 million in wages and 177 million in contributions to the pension and health plans during the contract term. Sounds pretty good to me. A 58% increase in salaries for major role guest star performers' wages on high budget SVOD programs. Sounds pretty good to me. A 76% increase in high budget SVOD foreign residuals for the 4 largest streaming services. A substantial increase in health, pension and health contribution caps ranging from 22 to 33%, which will make it easier for performers to qualify for additional periods of health coverage and earn years of service towards a pension. This was one of the things that they were really upset about. Okay, the healthcare. They're saying, hey, a lot of us can't get healthcare. We got to make way too much money. We don't really make that much money. We put in a lot of this work. We would like to get some healthcare. So it seems like that they're going to make it easier for performers to qualify for health coverage. All right. So that seems like a good thing. That seems like what the actors were asking for. Meeting nearly all of the union's demands on casting, including guardrails around self-tapes, options for virtual and in-person auditions, and accommodations to performers with disabilities. Compensation adjustments of 25% for singers who dance and dancers who sing on camera in the same session, whether in rehearsal or photography, representing a 30% increase over current wages. Sounds good to me. Wage increases for stunt coordinators of 10% in the first year and outsized increases in years 2 and 3, and giving television stunt coordinators fixed residuals for the first time ever. So the first time ever, television stunt coordinators are going to get some residuals, all right? I mean, it sounds like they gave them a lot. Let's see, what did they give on AI? Here's AI. Advanced consent from the performer and background actor to create and use digital replicas. No digital replica of the performer can be used without the performer's written consent and description of the intended use in the film. Prohibition of later use of that replica unless the performer specifically consents to that new use and is paid for it, and a digital alteration that would change the nature of an actor's performance in a role is not permitted without informing the performer of the intended alteration and securing the performer's consent. It sounds like a great deal, okay? I mean, I don't know, y'all. This all sounds pretty good to me, okay? On common issues such as general wage increases, high budget, and so on, okay, we already said that, but they rejected it. We hope that they will consider it and turn back to productions. Yeah, so you know what we about to do next. You know we missed this. Oh, we missed the deadline comments. The deadline comments are always a ton of fun. Let's check it out. They're waiting for the 100-day mark to have all their existing contracts canceled, just like with the WGA, to save hundreds of millions. See if they don't come back to the table after day 100 and get a quick deal again. That's exactly what happened with the writers. Although with the writers, it took them even longer, all right? They waited even longer with the writers. The writers went all the way up to like, what, day 145 or something like that? Writers took forever, all right? So yeah, they're going to get to day 100. All right. Force majeure clauses are going to kick in, and they're going to start dumping deals left, right, and center. And then after they do all of that stuff, and, you know, it gets into like November, okay, let's come back to the table and talk. That's exactly what's going on. And this guy, Common Sense, he's talking about the AI piece, right? And it says basically it's advanced consent from the performer or background actor to create and use digital replicas. And then if they don't get that written consent, basically they can't use it. So basically they said, see that word advanced? That means if you don't consent before we hire you, you ain't getting hired. So no. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Or maybe they won't get chosen for screen time if they are background. Who knows? See, here's the thing. These guys, they're not wrong, okay? There is going to be some kind of coercive action, you know, by the studios that says, we want to use your likeness, so sign your name on the dotted line. You don't sign your name, oh, well, you know, I guess you're not going to get it, you know? You're going to basically have to sign this contract, sign away your, you know, digital rights. You know, we'll pay you for it, but you're going to have to sign away your digital rights in order to get on this particular project. You know, and hey, and if they like that, if they don't like that, that's the deal that the studios have set forth. AI is on its way, all right? It's on its way. It's not going anywhere. They have to find a compensation structure, in my opinion, a compensation structure that just works. And once they find that, they'll be straight. You know, but yeah, I mean, just saying, no, we're not going to sign on to that's not happening. The writer rooms just started. The AMPTP know they have a 4 or 5 week runway here. Don't fall for it, man. Real talk. The revenue sharing does seem like it will be a bridge too far, this negotiation, however. Yeah, I mean, I think it probably is as well. It's a lot, man. it's not a lot. Look, let's go ahead and check out the revenue sharing proposal. All right, this article, right? The bully tactics and the misrepresentation over the revenue sharing proposal costs. Let's check those out. And here it is right here. They're saying they were countering the studio's estimation that the Actors Guild's long suggested profit split proposal would cost more than $800 million a year or $2.4 billion over the range of the 3-year contract. We have made big, meaningful counters on our end, including completely transforming our revenue share proposal, which would cost the companies less than 57 cents per subscriber each year. So you see what they're asking for? They're saying split the revenue of the entire streaming service. Okay, every piece of the streaming service, you know, whether people subscribe to a streaming service and it's just sitting dormant, you know, getting billed every month off of their credit card, whether they watch it or not, if they're paying their $20 a month or whatever, all right, we get 57 cents of that $20, you know, per month times the entire year. So not every month, but per year. Each year, you know, all of the subscribers you have. So let's say Netflix, they have what, like 230, you know, million subscribers. All right. You take that 230 million, you multiply that times 57 cents each year, and you give us that. You give that to the writers or to the actors. Now, on the surface, when you hear it and it's like, okay, these cats are paying anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks in some cases, right? For a streaming service subscription, you know, so if you're paying like 10 bucks a month, you're paying $120 a year to, like, you know, Netflix or whoever. And, oh, okay, they want 57 cents of your $120. It doesn't sound like a lot of money. All right. It doesn't sound like a lot of money, but number one, all right, this is one of them slippery slopes. You ask for 57 cents this year. Next year, next negotiation, you ask for 67 cents or 77 cents, you know? And they say, oh man, we just asking for another 20 cents per subscriber. But see, that amount just keeps going up, okay? I think the studios don't want to have anything to do with this. But at the same time, it's nothing, all right? It's a tiny fraction of an amount, but it's enough to say, nope, we're not doing it. Now y'all can sit on this for a couple of months, okay? While we wait for y'all, the force majeure clauses to kick in, and then we wipe y'all out, okay? We wipe out all of these force majeure clauses, and then we say, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and get you the 57 cents. Like, that's basically what happened with the writers, okay? They just stalled them out, waited until, all right, it's time. All right, let's go ahead and make a deal, you know? So, yeah, I think that this is the sticking point that the studios just chose to pick. They could have picked anything. They just picked this one. And, you know, the writers and the actors, they're, you know, in this case, the actors, they were too, like, just focused on it to kind of see, oh, yeah, they're just getting rid of all of this work and they're completely reshaping Hollywood. And they're going to reshape Hollywood based on all of these deals. So this is always, it's going to affect what these guys do going forward. Just best believe that. Yeah, this was the sticking point right here. Netflix's Ted Sarandos reveals why talks broke down with SAG-AFTRA. And here it is right here. Last night, they introduced a levy on subscribers on top of other areas, the co-CEO said. He called it a bridge too far. He said that the AMPTP offered a success-based bonus to the actors, similar to the offer that the WGA accepted, but that was rejected, and SAG-AFTRA came back with the levy proposal. Yeah, I don't know about this. This levy proposal basically saying, yeah, we need to get 57 cents off of every subscriber every single year. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if that's something that studios are going to ever agree to. Again, it's a tiny amount of money. So you can kind of see, hey, it's no big deal. But at the same time, that's just opening up Pandora's box, right? Because now the actors are asking for it. Next time, it's going to be the writers and the directors. Well, where's our 57 cents, you know, for every subscriber? You know, you guys are getting 20, 30 bucks. I mean, as the streaming prices go up, you know, they go, hey, man, increase that for us, you know? And then what about, like, voice actors, you know? What about foreign residuals? Like, there's going to be, it just opens up Pandora's box. Everybody's going to try to tap into that money, and maybe rightfully so. I don't know. We'll see how it all goes down. But I think that's one that the streamers especially, they're like, nah, no. No, sir. No, thank you. And a lot of these cats are probably going to try to exit the streaming business because, look, streaming isn't working for everybody. So you know Netflix, Ted Sarandos is like, oh, heck, this is our business model, okay? You know, this is what we do. You know, all of these other studios, they got other irons in the fire. They got different types of ways to make money. We are streaming. So yeah, Netflix is definitely going to be pushing hard back against that because they don't want to set that precedence where now every year, every negotiation, it's just going up and up and up. Oh, it's 57 cents this year. Next year, we want 77 cents, you know? Oh, then we want $1.07. I mean, it's just $1.07 a year, you know? It's just another 30 cents or 40 cents over the last negotiation that we made. What's the big deal? You know, you can just see that coming, all right? They're going to say, oh, we just asked for these little increases or whatever. But again, I think that the studios offered a decent deal. It sounds good to me. You know, I'm not an actor in Hollywood, so I can't call it, but it sounds good to me. We'll see what happens, but I guarantee you, they're going to push pause on this, you know, because that's what they did with the writers. They did the same thing with the writers. And the actors should be like, you know what? Let's go ahead and accept this, and we'll fight this little levy, all right? This little subscriber count stuff, we'll fight that on the next one, all right? Because we should get back to work. Because if they don't, all of these deals that are going to dry up, that's just going to be less money for these guys. These guys are losing money as they're trying to make more money. And then more of them will just be out of work on the other side of this thing. But once again, folks, it ain't over till it's over. All right, we back again. More strike talk. But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.